Now let's put some stills into Premiere. We'll do a quick little tour and then we'll add some stills to do a video slideshow. So I've got Premiere Pro CC open. I'm going to go File, New. I need a new project. New project. Let's name that puppy Slideshow. Okay, that's easy. Browse to the folder you created with your stills. This will make life easier for you. Because if you keep all your stuff together, you won't get any of the annoying media missing. Do that. Okay. All right, so here's your standard setup for Premiere. This window right here is your preview. There's some tabs up here. We don't have any source things, so don't worry. We got some tabs, which in the controls, effects controls, audio mixer, metadata. To the right of that is when we put things down in the timeline. This is where we're going to see it when we run the playhead over it. Over here is our project files. There's a media browser if we want to look through that way. We've got a libraries, info, effects. We'll need this later. Markers and history, but let's start at the project. And it's real easy to start. It says import media to start. So double click it and there you go. So we're in the slides and I'm going to grab all three of my images. I'm just going to hold my Command key in Mac, Control key in Windows. Click import. Bingo, bango, boongo. There's all my pictures. But you'll notice there's nothing over here, which is to your right, the timeline, where all images go. And here in between on this little line here, these are tools. So, how do I do this? Well, let's start by making a sequence. We can simply take one of these images, drag it to this bent piece of paper, let go, and boom, because I had all three selected, they all are on the timeline. So I'm going to delete these two. Just leave one on here for the moment. Pink indicates it's a still. It runs a few seconds. Now, if I wanted to extend this, notice when I roll over the edges of this, the cursor changes to a little arrow. I can drag this and extend it out so that it'll play longer than the 4 seconds 29 frames. So I extended it out a little bit. There you go. And I have a sequence thing. You can tell the difference between an image and a sequence. If you look here, you'll see a little, looks like film, and you look over here, it looks like a bunch of little lined up boxes. That's a sequence. So if I double click this, there you go. It's in my preview window. If I needed to do some kind of effects, like if it were too big and I needed to shrink it, I could go to the effects control, under motion, and there's scale, and I can drag that up and down until it fits, but I'm good as it is. Now if I wanted to add another image, I'll grab this big one, Seder, and just drop it right there. It snaps to the edge. So we go, there it goes, boom, it's another picture. Now, there are lots of transitions you can use. I prefer a straight cut, but you can also do a dissolve, a cross dissolve. So you would come over here to Effects, look for Video Transitions, and go find Dissolves, and there happens to be the default is the cross dissolve. I can just drag that and drop it right on there. If you just play it, so let's do a little play here. We press the space bar to make it play. This line here is called the playhead, and as it moves it's going to hit the transition and a nice cross dissolve. Wasn't that nice? Now, that's simple as can be. We could add that. Let's take a look at the vertical I had. I could drag that vertical over here and drop that on. Of course, this makes no sense that it's a tree, but see the jarring aspect you get? When you go to a vertical like this, you have all this extra space. That's up to you, but I don't find it too attractive. So we've got this laid down. We know how to put a transition in, and we know how to get a slideshow started. But there's something else we need to do. We need to add some audio. We're gonna add some audio by using a different program. And the program we're gonna go to is Audition. And once this is up, now we can look at this interface. Completely different, and there is no file set up here. Files, media browser, where our clips are located, history, video, what our levels are going to look like. Now, since I want to make an audio, an audio voiceover that's going to go for this, one thing I know is with everything I ever want to record with, if you press the little red button, guess what? It'll record. But there's nothing here to record to. So let's make an audio track. File, new. We're just going to make an audio file. You can name it. I'll call mine V/1. Say OK. Now I have my open tracks ready to record to. Now if I'm not sure if I've got my microphone, the easiest place to find is go Adobe Audition, Preference, and let's see, Audio Hardware. And yep, my default microphone is set so I can use it. Are you ready? And here we go. Press record, and this is the story of a kitty named Seder. He apparently turned into a dead saguaro at the end of this video. Once I'm done, I just click stop. I can play it back. This is the story of a kitty. Now you probably can't hear that because I've got my headphones on, but it's ready to rock. I'm not going to cut it. If I wanted to, I could split, delete stuff. If I wanted to delete this very end, let's go. Say I wanted to get rid of this little space right here, I could just click and drag and hit the delete key, and it will automatically go away and shorten up the gap. He apparently turned into a dead saguaro at the end of this video. And there we go. That's it. So I select all my stuff, and we're going to go File, Save. First thing I want to do is save it. Where do I want to save it? Well, I want to save it over in the same folder. So I'm going to go find my folder, and you can choose WAV, which is uncompressed, or AIFF, which is uncompressed, or MP3, which is compressed. I'm going to use AIFF. You can use any of those three. And we'll save it. And we'll say OK, and it's going to save. Hide this, and I still got Premiere open. I want to hide that for a second and show you that in my folder on my desktop that I named Slides, you'll see that there's the package right here that I need to use in case I want to go back and edit. But here's my AIF, which is my audio that I recorded. So let's get back to Premiere. We import the same way. You can double click here, but if you want to do it, if you're a menu kind of person, you can go File, Import, and there's my AIF, Import. Now notice this has a completely different look. It's got a little green icon. I can double click it. There it is. I can just drag this down. I'm just going to drag this over and put it underneath my video, right about there. And then now when I play it back, we'll watch Seder for a little bit more. That's a little too long, I believe, before it hits the audio. And here's the audio coming up. This is the story of a kitty named Seder. You can see this over here. Turned into a dead saguaro at the end of this video. There you go. So you could see the audio playing because you can see the levels over to the side. So we're all done. We have to do two things. First, we have to save this. That'll save the project. And then we have to export it. So we go File, Export, Media. We're going to leave it at QuickTime. What we're going to choose is a preset. And the preset we're going to choose is we're going to match what we put in there, which was an HD 1080i 29:7. Don't worry about the rest. This is going to be full HD. Do that. Export. Wait. It's not going to take long, by the way. This does not take long. Well, it's taking longer than I thought. I could do the Jeopardy song if you want. Do 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 do. Oops, all done. So now if I go here and I look in my folder where I was saving everything on the desktop, and in my slides, you'll see there's the Seder movie. And if I click it, double click it, it will play in full HD. And as before, we know there's the big silent part before you get to the audio. You may or may not hear this because of my headphones. Seder. He apparently turned into a dead saguaro at the end of this video. And there you go. That's the end of it. So that's a quick, really quick tutorial on how to do a quick voiceover, a quick slideshow.